Today I will be talking about Ted Cruz, or should I say the Zodiac Killer. So I don't know if you've already heard or not, but Google's #1 search topic of March 2016 was, is Ted Cruz the Zodiac Killer? However, the whole conspiracy started by a tweet in 2013. And the weirdest thing about it is that he hasn't once denied the allegations. First, what I wanted to talk about is, who is the Zodiac Killer? The Zodiac Killer is an unidentified serial killer who operated in the late 60s and early 70s in California, responsible for killing about 5 people. So you're probably asking yourself, when was Ted Cruz born? And he was born in 1970, December 22nd, the same year that the killing stopped, allegedly. And with those time limits, deciding if he's a killer or not, it would be impossible. However, no one knows if the Zodiac Killer stopped killing or not. He could still be killing to this day, and people wouldn't know if it was him or not. The second clue is that the Zodiac Killer left witnesses, and they went to the police and he did a police sketch. And if you look at the picture, it looks suspiciously a lot like Ted Cruz. It might not be exactly perfect, but this was a police sketch done out of the words from teenagers in the middle of the night who witnessed a crime. So it's gonna have a little differences. Ted Cruz was born in Calgary, Canada. If you focus on the Cal part, California is where the killings happened, and Gary was one of his first victims. Another question that might come to mind is his ability to look the same after all these years. Well, we're not exactly sure Ted Cruz was born in 1970. He released his birth certificate and somehow made it the exact month and year that the Zodiac Killer stopped. That's a little suspicious. Technically speaking, you can't use a birth certificate to prove if someone's a murderer or not, because someone could easily have doctored it. Like when Obama was elected, everybody was asking about his birth certificate, and even after he released it, people still assumed that it was fake. And another hint that he might be the Zodiac Killer is in one of his ciphers, it mysteriously spells out Ted Cruz. Out of any name that it could have spelled, it could have spelled Marco Rubio, Hillary Duff, but no, it spells out Ted Cruz. And also, the Zodiac Killer was notorious for being a genius and a coder. Ted Cruz in high school made straight A's and claimed he planned on world domination.
Aspiration. Is that like sweat on my butt? No, oh, I see. What you want me to do, what I want to do in life. Well, my aspiration is to, I don't know, be in a teen tit film like that guy who played Horatio. You know, he was in Malibu Bikini Beach Shop. Well, other than that, take over the world domination, you know, rule everything, rich, powerful, that sort of stuff.
Cruz, you think Ted's gonna rule the world one day?
I hope not.
I mean, that's not the typical kind of goal for a 17-year-old kid. And even the Zodiac Killer said that he wanted slaves in the afterlife, and world domination would be a really good way to get those slaves. So, also, Ted Cruz was on an episode with Duck Dynasty, and they went out hunting pheasant. And Ted Cruz brought his gun, which just so happened to be the exact same gun that the Zodiac killer used in 2 of his killings. And he used it as if he's used it multiple times before, although he said that he doesn't mind. So where else is he getting that skill from?
Ted Cruz is my man. I'm voting for him.
Cruz, the reason we're going to vote for you, all of us, is because you.
Some people might say that the Ted Cruz Zodiac killer joke might be going a little too far, and they're probably saying because he has a wife, because he has 2 kids. Ted Cruz actually leaked this video of him micromanaging his entire family, making a promotional campaign advertisement. And if his family were such that picture perfect, especially on camera, you would think that they'd be able to show out for him, but they had to fake hugs. He had to shoot his ending about 15 times before his daughters got it right, and the whole thing just seemed fake.
It looks like the perfect presidential ad. American flags. A candidate with a compelling story and a family that looks great in pastels.
We're fighting for the world that will be our kids' world. And start looking at me and
he had a dream.
And
he enjoyed the most. Working at MIT.
Earlier this year, the Cruz campaign posted hours of this footage on YouTube. By law, campaigns can't coordinate with super PACs, so many quietly post raw videos like this on public websites as a way to share material legally. But it lets us take a rare peek behind the scenes at the strange world of political ad making.
Give me a couple lines from Green Eggs and Ham.
That's too personal, Ted. I don't want to tell that.
I do like it. I'll like it in a box. I'll like it in a goat. I'll like it.
well, I want to tell that, and you're the best person to tell that.
Well, there's some very personal details that I don't want to go into.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm Sam. I am. I'm Sam.
You don't have to go into it.
Okay. When Ted was 3.
Look at me.
Well, I need the book if you want to give me specific lines. But
Not a day goes by that my mom is not lifting me up in prayer.
That's right.
For hours at a time.
Our family has actually made a difference and an impact in our country today.
Am I supposed to say the same type?
my family background is that my grandfather was a missionary in Africa for about 40 years.
I don't know what else to say.
I don't know. Just keep talking. Just keep talking.
Presently, my brother is a missionary in Haiti. Cut, let's start that again. The brother thinks too much. I can't get his gig down. He doesn't live there.
It seems like everything is staged, even hugs.
Hugs.
I'm proud of you, Joey. I love you.
I love you too.
I love you, Ted.
I love you, Mom.
Love you too, dear.
I love you. I love you.
One more hug and we're out.
It will.
In a political commercial, the scene would look something like this, but it takes a lot of time to get that perfect shot. Getting the shot of family mealtime took a lot of prayer.
Okay, so who wants to say grace? Okay, great.
Awesome. Would you like to dance with Sissy as well? Oh, that's fun.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Catherine. Okay, who wants to say grace?
I do.
Okay, good.
Okay. Oh, it's okay.
Dear Jesus, thank you for the food. Thank you for the day. Thank you for my family. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my puppy. Amen.
Amen. Okay, let's say grace. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this food. And thank you for our precious girls. Thank you for Catherine and Caroline. Bless this family. Thank you for those who prepared this meal. In Jesus' name, amen. What did you do at school?
Well, famous Maker gave us candy.
Candy at school?
And And for the ending, Cruz really wanted to get it right.
I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message. I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message. I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message. I'm Ted Cruz, and we approve this message. Okay, a little bit faster. That's good. I'm Ted Cruz, and we approve this message. 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 I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message. I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message. I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message.
You just focus on Ted's character, his ambition, then you can actually see if he's a killer or not. I mean, first, I hate to say it, but his smile is really, really creepy. I don't know how you can look at this person and say, oh yeah, he's fine. I mean, his smile just makes you want to run. In Psychology Today, Psychoic, world-renowned neurologist, said that Cruz's atypical expression left him uneasy. Second, why is his daughter so scared of him and revolted by his affection?
Take it off. Come on. Yeah, they're going with me. Hey, let's hop out of my street. We're taking her.
Good job. Good job. Ready? Good job. Good job.
Maybe because he knows that those are the same lips he had when he killed 37 people in California. I guess the biggest question is probably, who cares? I mean, who cares that Ted Cruz might be the Zodiac killer? If someone who looks a little bit like Hitler and had all these connections, would you not be interested in finding out if that was him or not? Ted Cruz actually dropped out of the election, and some say it's because that the pressure of being called the Zodiac killer got a little too much, but I don't know.
From the beginning, I've said that I would continue on as long as there was a viable path to victory. Tonight, I'm sorry to say, it appears that path has been foreclosed. Together, we left it all on the field in Indiana. We gave it everything we've got. But the voters chose another path. And so, with a heavy heart, but with boundless optimism for the long-term future of our nation, we are suspending our campaign.
Public policy polling, or Triple P for short, actually polled the state of Florida and got 1,000 registered voters to answer if they thought Ted Cruz was a Zodiac killer or not. And about 40% of them said it was possible that Ted Cruz might be the Zodiac killer. And these are registered voters, not just people they picked up off of the street. I actually did a little experiment for myself and asked people around the school whether or not they thought Ted Cruz could be the Zodiac killer. Hello, random woman.
Hi, how are you?
Is there any way Ted Cruz could be the Zodiac killer?
No.
Why not?
Because the Zodiac killer was around late 1960s, and a serial killer it's really rare for a serial killer to be dormant for over 50 years. Therefore, it cannot be Ted Cruz.
Are you aware that Ted Cruz was born right after his last killing? because of that birth certificate that Ted Cruz released, it's kind of convenient that he was born the same month and year that the killing was stopped. Does that seem any suspicious to you?
That means that he's a million babies are born every day. So I don't think, I think it's relative to the idea, conspiracy theory that Ted Cruz is actually the Zodiac killer.
Thank you for your opinion.
Thank you. Hello.
Is there any way Ted Cruz can be the Zodiac killer?
No.
Why not?
Because he's not.
I'm not very sure.
Are you not familiar with them? Well, here's a picture of them. Do they look alike to you?
Very.
Thank you. Is there any way Ted Cruz can be the Zodiac killer?
I don't think so, because they released his birth certificate and everything, and it's supposedly the same month and whatever year that he was born that the Zodiac killer stopped killing. But he couldn't really make up an entire age. He couldn't be oh yeah, I was actually born and I'm 30 now, and he's actually 50. If he was born when the person stopped killing, at least around that time, I don't think the Zodiac killer was around 3 years old.
Do they look alike to you?
I mean, I guess so, but they can look, that could be anyone.
Thank you. Ted Cruz and the Zodiac killer could be connected?
I'm not sure, I've heard some things about it.
Well, have you seen this picture of him?
That's him! They look exactly alike.
Thank you. Is there any way Ted Cruz and the Zodiac killer could be the same person? Coincidence such as...
Thank you, ma'am.
Are you aware that Ted Cruz released his birth certificate? Is there any way a politician could doctor his birth certificate to make it seem as if he were not a murderer? Thank you. Will it be connected?
I'm not really sure about that answer.
Well, have you seen this picture of them? Do they look alike to you?
No, they don't.
Thank you. So in summary, is Ted Cruz the Zodiac killer? You decide for yourself.